Hey there, Lisa Leitner here. I really hate that I have to do this video and present it again. I had really hoped that this information would not be relevant in 2021, but unfortunately it is. So let's dig into it. Let's help you be the best advocate for your child that you can be when you are IEPing during a pandemic. Welcome, I'm Lisa Leitner and I'm a special education advocate and have been since 2010. Let's face it, school is different now. We don't know when this is going to end. We thought it was over this summer, but it's not. The first thing you want to do is stay current with the most up-to-date information. Some places you can look, of course, are the CDC, your state, and in particular, your state's Department of Ed site and your state's Department of Health website. Also, look at your school district and see what policies and procedures they have implemented for the pandemic. And you also want to read the most recent guidance from the U.S. Department of Education. They have put out about, I'm going to say, 4 documents regarding special education, IDEA, and the pandemic, and what parents should expect and what school districts can and should be doing. Document. Most importantly, I say this all the time, it's the paper trail that matters. So you want to get out a notebook, use your kitchen calendar, you want to document everything. It doesn't have to be complex, it doesn't have to be a long written out thing, but each day you want to make note of what supports and services your child did receive and which ones they did not receive that are on their IEP that they should be receiving and would be receiving if not for the pandemic. You want to have all this documentation ready because at some point, yes, it doesn't feel like it, but the pandemic will end. And when it ends and things go back to normal, you and your school should be having discussions about compensatory services. So what's going to be most important is your paper trail. You want to be able to demonstrate with data and documentation what your child received and what they did not receive. You also may want to request new evaluations. We're now looking at almost 2 years of a pandemic, and in a normal 2-year span, our kids change, but they may change even more so during remote learning. So you want to keep all the progress monitoring reports that you're receiving, as well as, again, consider asking for new evaluations or more in-depth evaluations, more or different evaluations if your child's triennial is coming up. The U.S. Department of Ed has given the go-ahead for schools to provide distance or virtual evaluations when it's appropriate, but you may want to follow up with in-person evaluations when the situation allows. As you look for solutions and have these discussions about comp services, you're going to have to get creative. Our kids only have so many hours in a day, so you're going to have to try to squeeze in some of these services the best you can. Go to your team with solutions. I have an entire category on this blog called Pandemic Parenting. You may want to look at that at adayinourshoes.com to find more information about all kinds of IEP issues during the pandemic. If you want to take my parent training, visit don'tIEPalone.club, and you can find me at social media at these 2 locations.